Hello, thank you for joining me and welcome back here. What I want to do today is have a very practical discussion about this idea that I spout all of the time here about learning to relax and trust. So let's talk about that and jump right into it. My idea here is to record not one, but two conversations, and the second being some concrete principles of how this works in your daily life, in your daily action. What I'd like to explain here first is what is meant by learning to relax and trust. This is something that if you've seen some of these videos before, you will know that I state often. And if you've ever wondered why, it is the central point of spirituality. Learning to relax and trust. It's central to every spiritual tradition, all of them, no matter what outward form this appears to take. We're learning to relax and trust. Therefore, it arises in the study and practice of A Course in Miracles. It's central to this course, and it's emphasized furthermore. Why does it need to be emphasized? Because we think that we have to be in control. There's only one error here in the world, and that is separation. Every other apparent error derives from that. We think we're separate from our brother. We think that there are 8 billion of these things running around. First of all, we think this is us. Hmm. You're much more than simply an 80% water thing running around. You know this. We're not a physical body. Deep down, we all know this, or we wouldn't be interested in spirituality in the first place. We'd simply do what the world suggests we do and be content with that. Praise this thing, adore it, adulate it, gratify it in every way, at every possible turn, feed it yummy food, right? Make it look young and hot for as long as you can, which ultimately is not a winning proposition because this thing decomposes. It doesn't last. And the world teaches us to adore it and feed it and clothe it and house it with the finest things. Yet we're not satisfied with those things. We want more or better or newer or shinier or hotter and sexier things. We're never at peace because we're looking for peace in the wrong place. It is not outside us. There is no separation of any kind. So peace is not to be found in nice threads. It's not to be found in a hot, sexy bod. Sorry, not sorry. It's true, and you know it. It's not to be found in the size of our bank account. And if you have a lot of money in this lifetime, great. No problem. You'll notice that this course does not concern itself with looking for happiness without. That's why it does not treat or touch the popular spirituality concepts of manifestation and things like that. This course is not about getting more money. Should you practice this course and happen to get more money, fantastic. It's not the point. Nor is it the point of this course to get you a better job or more prestige in the world. The purpose of A Course in Miracles is for us to clarify our perception. We don't see things as they are. This course is a self-study curriculum in mind training in which we learn to see things as they are. From there, the truth dawns of itself, but only when we've seen things as they really are and stabilized that perception. Glimpses here and there, fantastic. They're life-changing experiences. Many of you have had them, so you know. What we're talking about here is ultimate awakening, awakening from the dream. We call it enlightenment or realization of God, going home, whatever you wish to call this in words. This is a self-study curriculum. Who's our guide? Our inner teacher is our guide. The Holy Spirit is our guide. When something lands here on this video, it's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. This is a pixelated image on your screen. There's nothing special about it. It's an idea that I often repeat because we need to hear this. When something lands for us, it is the Holy Spirit speaking to us. It is the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, that we learn to relax and trust. Something that has always helped me in this world where our anxiety is monstrous. We think that we have to control everything ourselves, yet we realize we can't control anything ourselves. Here's something that's really, really important and that I hope you find very, very helpful is that of ourselves, we can do nothing. You may be familiar with that phrase. Yeah, we can't really. We can't fashion the peace of God out of all of the things that we busy ourselves with here in the world. We can't make it. We can't manipulate phenomena in order for us to get it. We can't guarantee anything. Even our most thought out actions, even our best planning, our best laid plans, yeah, even those go astray. They do. Because we cannot see all ends of ourselves when we attempt to manipulate and control all phenomena in our extraordinary control freak desires. Whether you consider yourself a control freak or not, we appear to be here because we're trying to control all things. When we do this, we can't guarantee a positive outcome, a highest, best, most beneficial outcome for every single living thing throughout space and time without exception. Highest and best. We can't guarantee that, but our inner teacher can. So why not get out of our own way and allow him to run the show? This is setting the ego aside, which is what all spirituality is about. Learning to relax and trust the guidance of our inner teacher so that we can set this thing, this false sense of individual, separate self to the side. We learn to relax. Our inner teacher has got us. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind. It's with us always. We can't guarantee a maximum positive outcome for every single living thing throughout space and time, but our inner teacher can. So we gradually learn to relax and trust and give over our lives, our experiences to our inner teacher. Here's something that may help with the anxiety. We are not giving this power and control away to an outside force. Ever. There is no outside force. There's no separation of any kind. The Holy Spirit is part of us. It's part of you. You're giving control over to this part of your mind that knows who and what and where you are and will show you, if only you allow it. So, how do we do this in this world where we've made our anxiety a big, living, breathing, hairy, stinky, smelly, venomous monster? We've made it all too real, crippling sometimes. In fact, we do it a piece at a time. We do. We do it a piece at a time. We can take a highly specific situation and quickly, in our minds, give it over to the Holy Spirit. You could say, Holy Spirit, please help me, or whatever you call your inner teacher. Jesus, please help me. Elvis, please help me. My guides, my team, please help me. Whatever you call it is only a name. That's why I repeatedly emphasize that it does not matter what you call your inner teacher. Even here in A Course in Miracles, the Holy Spirit's known by dozens of different names, including the Answer with a capital A, Comforter, capital C, the Voice for God, and many others. We learn to relax and trust. Give a particular situation over to your inner teacher. What happens is that you're setting the ego aside. You're saying, I don't have control over this myself, and I don't know what's best. The ego is terrified for you to say that. So if you actually say it, even better. You don't have to say it out loud. All of this is done in the mind. This course is entirely done in the mind where correction's necessary. We think we're separate. We're not. In our supposed separation, we've crippled ourselves with fear. How do we set it aside? Well, most of us are unable to set the entire gamut of fear, the entire wall of fear aside at once. That's why we appear to have a gradual program of awakening. That is quite by design. Because if you were ready, if you really were ready for a blinding flash, you'd get that blinding flash. Count on it. Your inner teacher knows what you are and are not ready for. So he will guide you. We relax minute by minute, even if it's just giving the Holy Spirit control over one thing, one single decision. Ask for its advice, ask for its guidance. We do this a little bit at a time. What's the result? You chill out. You set the ego aside. This is getting out of your own way. Many spiritual traditions talk about it. That's what's meant by it. Learning to relax and trust the guidance of your inner teacher and allowing your inner teacher to run the show. As you become less stressed in the process of remembering to do this and doing it, there's always emphasis on that. You become less stressed and more able to do this in broad, sweeping generalizations. You give the Holy Spirit your relationship for His purposes. You give meetings over for His purposes, work, your career, the physical body as a communication mechanism. What do you imagine is going on right here with this thing? It's being used to extend love to you, the Son of God. There's nothing special about the thing in and of itself. I've simply given it over to our inner teacher for his use and purposes. This is what we do. The more you do it, the more expansive your practice becomes. The more loving you become, the more relaxed you become because you're learning and practicing. Relax and trust, relax and trust, relax and trust. The only way To really do it is to actually do it. These videos appear so that you may be inspired to practice. They are in no means at all, absolutely by no means are they ever intended to substitute for practical application. They're simply an aid, a guide. It's about actually doing it. Then our experience proves that this notion and all of the notions that are articulated here in A Course in Miracles are true. All right. So, as always, questions and comments are very welcome here. You're welcome to leave them. And if you have not yet subscribed, I invite you to please go ahead and do that. This is the prompt here in the corner. That's that arrow. Click that, hover over that, and you'll be invited to join us. Please do so because a number of videos appear each week. And if you have subscribed, thank you. If you would like to be notified of videos as they are dropped, as they appear here on the channel, that's that bell icon that appears on YouTube. If you've ever wondered what that is, that controls your notifications, and you can click on that and ask to be notified when a new video drops right here on this channel. So that's an option that's open to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this conversation up with another more practical, what does this really look like in daily life kind of conversation about allowing and learning to relax and trust. Okay. So thank you, as always, for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.